Hey everybody, this is Craig from 9Volt Games, and in order for me to do this video, I'm going to have to do this in my car because I keep falling asleep. Hey Gary, this is the video you wanted. Gary Morris, not Gary Potter. Son of a bitch. Listen. Alright, so, I had the video. No, okay. So, I did this theory video. It was actually multiple theories across different games, where I talked about Super Mario, and I talked about Silent Hill and all that good stuff. And one of the theories about Silent Hill 2 was that when James first arrives to Silent Hill, Mary's body is actually in his trunk. It's in his trunk. That's to show you that I'm serious. Now, that's not an original theory of mine. I actually think that's pretty well accepted in hello. I think that's pretty well accepted in the gaming community, as that's what it is. So there was another bigger channel that did. It was on Watch Mojo. It was on Watch Mojo, and it was pretty recent. And it was like the top 10 theories of gaming. And what happened was they had done the Silent Hill one, but they had done it like verbatim for what I said. Now mine varies a little bit different, and the reasons vary a little bit different otherwise. But the thing is, they forgot some key plot points on why she would be in the trunk. So here's my take, and it was only I think they only referenced the non-canon ending. It was the the rebirth ending where he took her out on the boat, and how would he have been able to do that unless she was already in the trunk? Now I have multiple reasons. So given any excuse to make a Silent Hill 2 video, I will always make a fucking Silent Hill 2 video. So let's talk about this theory of Mary being in the trunk, and let's do it before my phone falls over again, I guess. Okay, so James gets to Silent Hill, and he reads the letter, and he says that Mary died 3 years ago. All right, so no, I think we all know by the end of the game that Mary has not been dead for 3 years, and that's proof in just Laura being around. And right, that's always how I took it, is that he just killed his wife. He just smothered her. Spoiler alert, I guess. There are some people on my channel who go to my old videos and they're like, I picked up Silent Hill 2 because of you. It just ruined one of the greatest twists in gaming, period. But anyways, so it was my assumption by the end of it, and you can have a different one, and it's not necessarily wrong, because they've been pretty open about anything in Silent Hill 2 is really up to player interpretation. Hold on, I'm getting parched. There is a lady behind me that is just like, who the fuck is this guy talking to? Alright, anyways. So, blah, blah, blah. I played the game so many times that I believe that, he just got done killing her. Now, I didn't just, hear this theory online and think, oh yeah, that makes sense, she's in the trunk. I thought this from the first time I played it. And then, it wasn't the first time seeing the opening video, but the first time seeing the opening video after you beat it. Oh god, that raccoon was still alive. Anyways, the first time after you beat it, there's it unlocks the voices in the beginning video. And for some reason, the voices, even though there's no voice in this part, made it click. But there is a scene in it where you see James turning around in the prison that leads into the labyrinth, which is one of my favorite parts of the game. That goes straight into, the Eddie fight. But what I like about it is, there's another foreshadowing thing I want to talk about. This will be a multi-layered one, by the way. There's a few things I want to talk about. So, anyways, oh, it's a police officer. I don't know what the legality is, because I set this shit up before I started driving. But, anyways, so in that part of the video, right, when they're talking and it's playing the music, and you're seeing clips of the game that you've already seen, and now they're starting to piece it together, and you're starting to see things in maybe a different light. anyways, he's carrying. This is a scene that's never in the game. It's only in the opening video. He's lifting up what we assume is Mary's body, and he's in a labyrinth, and he's turning around, and it's not covered or anything, right? So if she's been dead for 3 years, how does he have a fresh body, for one? Two, when you're talking to her, she's on one of them like rusty ass blood covered beds. You know what type of scene I'm talking about? When when you have to fight Maria, and hilariously she looks like Saint Mary upside down, strapped in a bed, or inside of a weird metal frame bed. But anyways, after you kill her, he has a little chat with Mary in the bed, explaining how sorry he is, and that he's not sorry because he actually wanted her dead. And, he's basically coming to grips with the shit that he's done. And he's like, here's my baggage, get it off my chest, and then you lead into the ending that you get. It looked like it was in the labyrinth, and not only did it look like it was in the labyrinth, it looked like it was one of the same rooms that you initially saw Mary die in. So I think it's funny that, he killed Mary in a bed. He saw Maria dead in the bed, and then in the end of the game, not specifically in that area, but in an area that looked like it, which took place in the prison. Well, that took place in the labyrinth, but you would be walking out back to your car through the labyrinth. So regardless of where he found her body in the end, whether it was in the hotel or in the labyrinth or blah, 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 he carried her back. So obviously, we know that everything that he sees in Silent Hill from the second that he walks into the graveyard is fucked. Like, it's not necessarily what's actually going on in the real world. Did he take her body out of the trunk and walk it to the fucking hotel? Dude, there's so many. I just thought of that one, by the way. Did he make up the whole scenario of this shit in his head, and he's talking to Maria because he was carrying his dead wife to the hotel, and that was the whole plot point of Silent Hill 2. Just blew my own mind, guys. I just got very excited because I just came up with that shit. Maybe that was the whole point of Silent Hill 2. Is that dude was just taking a stroll with a dead body. And then, the canon ending. Well, I'm driving by a Dunkin's, that's why I said that. The canon ending is that he killed himself, which is the in water ending, which is hilarious, by the way. There's the other one I was saying, in the labyrinth is one of my favorite parts, is that in water was the first ending that I got, which is the one where he killed himself. Now, the interesting part about that is when you're in the labyrinth, you keep jumping down holes and holes and holes and holes and holes. And the final hole you jump down is James's grave. And that leads into the end game, scenario where you face everybody's demons, Eddie. Then you go to the hotel, you talk to Laura, you find out she has not aged since Mary's died. And then you have your talk with Angela, and you realize everybody's seeing everything completely different, and blase. So, yeah, I think that she was in the trunk the whole time. I think she was in the trunk the whole time. I don't think she was dead for 3 years. I think she had just died, and he had fucking dug up her body. That's why when you're talking to her at the end, she looks like she's covered in dirt and shit because she's just freshly been buried and dirty. And then now that I just connected those dots, he probably did just fucking drive there, put her ass in the trunk or the back seat, because you don't really get to see what's going on in the back seat. He carried her to the hotel. And realistically, since he was looking over the lake, maybe he didn't do all this extra shit. He just did it in his head, torturing himself. And that's why he kept seeing Maria. It's because he needed somebody to talk to. And Maria didn't even appear until he drove into the fucking town. Yes. Now what am I going to call this video? James carrying dead body to hotel? I'll just do the Big Mary conspiracy. Hopefully that's it. I don't think I missed anything else. I'm gonna think about this shit some more with another character. I'm gonna try and pull out another conspiracy theory. I do think that. Let me. I'm spitballing this shit. The original theory that I had that I wanted to address was just the, why I strongly believed and why I believed since the beginning that Mary was in that car. What do you think about the fact that he really did only go to Silent Hill to carry her body to the hotel? And that's why when he got to the hotel, everything appeared normal again. because then he accepted what he did. But he did walk back with that body and he put it in his fucking trunk. So he had to have gone there with it in the first place. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching.